Today we're going to be comparing a Pro phone against an Ultra phone, and both of them are under rupees 40,000. Confused? Yes, I'm actually talking about the newly launched Vivo T4 Ultra against the Motorola Edge60 Pro. So after the T4 Ultra reached our office, the first thing that we thought was, hey, wait a minute, is it actually more value for money than the Edge60 Pro? And for the extra money that you have to pay for the T4 Ultra, do you get more features, better performance, better camera experience, better battery life? What do you get better? All of those things we've actually tested out intensely, like how we do it for most of our comparisons. So stay tuned till the end to find out which one of these two phones would be the right pick for you, and both are pretty good phones, by the way. Alright, if you're here for the first time, I'm Ershad. This is Trakin Tech English, your destination for detailed, incisive gadget reviews. Now, we'll start by talking about the design of the phone, and you can see that the T4 Ultra is definitely pretty flashy, but you don't necessarily need to buy this specific flashy variant. There's also a neutral variant that I kind of prefer. But the good thing is that the T4 Ultra of course comes with glass on the rear as opposed to vegan leather on the Edge60 Pro. Now both are of course very premium materials, and the one thing about both the phones is that both do not have an aluminum frame, both come with plastic. Now between the two, if you ask me which one's design I prefer, I actually do prefer the Edge60 Pro because it's a little more, subtle in terms of look, and it's got a bunch of different colors that are very minimal in nature, and more importantly, the vegan leather also gives you like a better in-hand feel, if you ask me, compared to glass. Now between the two, if you ask me which one I prefer in terms of design, I think the camera module design on the Vivo is better, but with Moto, it's a little more premium looking, primarily because it's got that fused camera module, and it's got a more minimalistic look with those Pantone shades that you get. Now while glass is good on the T4 Ultra, sometimes it does feel slippery. Also, it adds to the weight of the phone. It's slightly heavier compared to the Edge60 Pro, which feels slightly lighter. And this is despite the fact that the Edge60 Pro has a larger silicon carbon battery compared to the regular lithium ion battery inside the T4 Ultra. Now one thing I found very interesting while doing the research for this review is that when I was looking at the spec sheets, the T4 Ultra is slimmer than the Moto Edge60 Pro. But in real life, honestly, I don't see it. In fact, this could also be because Moto has a larger degree of curvature, it has a very slim frame, so it feels slimmer, but it's not really slimmer. I don't know what sort of measurements happening here, but yeah, in-hand feel overall, if you ask me, I prefer the Moto Edge60 Pro compared to the Vivo T4 Ultra. I feel like Motorola might have done the curvature bit and all of that slightly better. Now for display protection, you get Shot Sensation Alpha with the T4 Ultra, you get Corning Gorilla Glass 7i on the Edge60 Pro, but Moto has an advantage in the IP rating because what you get support for is IP68 plus IP69, whereas Vivo only gives you IP64 support. And on top of that, Moto has gone ahead and also gotten the military standard 810H certification. So overall, I feel like durability is slightly better on Motorola compared to Vivo. Now ports and buttons wise, you get the same Type-C 2.0 port at the bottom on both the phones. Yeah, no faster USB speeds. You get a power button, you get volume buttons as well. But there's one extra button on the Moto, and that is for Moto AI, which of course cannot be remapped, by the way. Now before I move on to talk about the displays of these phones next, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, give us your support. Now both these phones of course come with quad curved panels, and they are very good looking panels. Interestingly, the Edge60 Pro has a larger 6.7 inch OLED panel as opposed to the 6.67 inch, slightly smaller display on the T4 Ultra. But the T4 Ultra feels wider in the hands primarily because the Edge60 Pro has a larger degree of curvature. That's not it. If you look at it very closely, the Edge60 Pro also has slimmer bezels, therefore you get more screen estate too. Now with respect to the technology used, the Edge60 Pro has POLED technology with Pantone validation for colors, and you get 1.5K resolution and 120Hz refresh rate as well. You also get the same resolution of 1.5K on the T4 Ultra. You also get the same refresh rate of 120Hz, and this is an AMOLED panel. In terms of color reproduction, both are pretty good. They're very bright and crisp panels with very vibrant colors too. But in the original Pro Color mode, the color tuning seems to be slightly better on Vivo compared to Moto, despite that Pantone tuning. Now both the phones also support HDR video playback on YouTube, although Vivo does have one advantage, and that is the fact that you get support for Netflix HDR, which Motorola doesn't offer. Now on paper, the T4 Ultra does have slightly better metrics in terms of high brightness mode brightness and peak brightness when you're watching HDR content. But in real life, you can't really tell the difference between the two because those numbers are logarithmic in nature and they don't really make that much of a difference in like tiny measures basically. But in HDR videos, sometimes we felt like Vivo was slightly brighter. Now both these phones also do come with a very good PWM dimming rating, but it's of course better, at least technically, on the T4 Ultra. So you get 2160Hz of PWM dimming as opposed to 720Hz on the Moto. Both also do come with optical in-display fingerprint scanners, of course, but the haptic feedback motor is definitely better on the Edge60 Pro. The one on the Vivo T4 Ultra is rattly and it's not an X-axis linear motor if you ask me. Now both the phones have stereo speakers. Motorola uses the earpiece as the secondary speaker, whereas Vivo actually has like dedicated speakers. Now that is probably the reason why the Edge60 Pro, despite having Dolby Atmos, doesn't sound as loud as the Vivo, but it does sound pretty rich. Take a listen to it for yourself and let me know what you guys think. Which one do you prefer? In the comments, let me know that. Now, one of the things we like testing out is the support for Bluetooth high-res codecs, and the Edge60 Pro is definitely better than the Vivo T4 Ultra because it does not. The Vivo T4 Ultra doesn't support the LHDC codec. Alright, now time to talk about the performance, and the T4 Ultra actually has the better chipset, right? I mean, it has the MediaTek Dimensity 9300 Plus, and there are three variants of the phone. Basically, you get a 512GB extra. And what you get is LPDDR5 RAM type and UFS 3.1 storage. With the Edge60 Pro, what you get is the MediaTek Dimensity 8350 and you get LPDDR5X RAM type and UFS 4.0 storage, and you also get it in two variants, basically 8256 and 12256. Anyway, let's talk about the benchmarks, and here Vivo definitely beats Moto in most aspects. So basically in Antutu and Geekbench, Vivo scores higher due to its more powerful CPU and GPU. Now in our CPU stability test where we engage 30 threads for 40 minutes, we noticed that Motorola offers higher stability, but Vivo pushes for more performance. Now when we ran the 3D Mark wireless test to actually like push for GPU performance, we noticed that Vivo is offering better stability, which is fantastic compared to Moto, and it also offers the better best loop score. You get more FPS, all of that. Of course, it's higher on Vivo because it's got a better GPU. But to push for that performance and to not throttle, it does consume more battery, and it also gets hotter compared to Moto. That's one thing to keep in mind. Of course, in our standard Genshin Impact test where we run the game for 30 minutes and we also play it at highest graphics and 60 FPS target, we actually got higher average frame rates on Vivo. But Moto again ran cooler, which is to be expected, right? See, overall, if you ask me, Vivo has a more flagship grade chipset which sort of pushes for performance. The Dimensity 9300 Plus is almost like the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, if you do a like-to-like comparison. Now, obviously, that higher throughput means that you do get better performance with the Vivo, T4 Ultra. But with the Edge60 Pro, you get a cooler phone. It doesn't get as hot as Vivo. Now you get great 5G performance on both, which is nice. You also get support for NFC tap payments, which is fantastic. You also get support for Bluetooth 5.4, which is also pretty good. Now for Wi-Fi capabilities, Vivo is kind of better because you do get Wi-Fi 7 support as opposed to Wi-Fi 6E on the Edge60 Pro. Alright, now talking about battery, both actually do offer good battery life. But before that, let me just tell you that Vivo has a 5500 mAh lithium-ion battery, whereas Moto has a 6000 mAh silicon carbon battery. And both do also support 90-watt charging speeds, and you get a 90-watt charger inside the box as well. Now Vivo takes about 55 minutes for a full charge, Moto takes about 53 minutes for a full charge. So seems to be that the 90-watt charger is tuned better for the 6000 mAh battery for Moto, but still, I mean, both are equally fast at charging, which is good. But Moto seems to offer better battery life, which is to be expected, right? You do get slightly bigger battery as well. Also, the tuning is slightly better too. So if you look at it, we got about 9.5 hours of screen on time with Moto, whereas we got about 8.5 with Vivo. Both are actually very good numbers, by the way, so no complaints there. So essentially, you can expect 1.5 days of usage from both these phones, with Moto performing slightly better in the battery department. Now, when you look at the camera setups on both, they're pretty identical in nature because what you get is a primary ultra-wide and telephoto setup, and both these phones have a 3x telephoto. Plus, of course, you get very high-resolution selfie cameras as well. But you will notice one thing, and we're showing it on screen for you. You can see that both use different sensors and different resolutions in the sensors as well. So you will realize that Moto actually has a lower resolution sensor for the telephoto. And interestingly, Vivo has a lower resolution ultra-wide angle camera. Anyway, we've tested them extensively. Let's take a look at the samples and figure out which one's doing a better job. See, when you're shooting with the primary camera, one thing I had mentioned before in my previous videos as well is that the Edge60 Pro tends to over-sharpen, which is not a problem with the T4 Ultra. It definitely offers better detail retention and a more natural, less processed look. And this is further amplified by the 2x in-sensor samples, as you can tell for yourself. You can see the difference here. Now, zooming further into the 3x optical shots, Vivo's larger sensor sensor pulls more details and keeps details natural looking with clean processing as well. See, Moto's not bad, but it is not as good as Vivo here. In fact, if you zoom in further to 6x, you can see the same results. Vivo is better than Moto. So if you're looking at better zoom quality and zoom performance, I would pick Vivo over Moto. Now, in terms of color reproduction, Vivo's natural mode is pretty true to life here. Moto's Pantone validation comes in handy too, and it is slightly brighter, so therefore it makes the hues look slightly off sometimes. Although for people shots, the Pantone validation does come in handy because Moto definitely has better skin tone rendering, and we also could see more facial detail. HDR performance is solid on both. Moto recovers more shadow detail while Vivo handles highlights better. It's slightly different in terms of processing for both. Although when it comes to portraits, Vivo has a clear advantage. It offers 5 focal lengths up to 100mm and compared to Moto's 4 focal lengths, which is up to 85mm. Now for the comparison, we took the 85mm shots of both, and if you see them side by side, Vivo does produce better edge detection and background blur. You all know that very well, that Vivo's portrait mode tuning is fantastic. In low light, Vivo captures brighter images with the main camera. For ultrawide shots, Moto clearly wins with the high resolution sensor. It's better in daylight and even better in low light. In fact, even the HDR ultrawide shots that we shot with the Moto looks better compared to Vivo. Now, color sense consistency between lenses is inconsistent on both the phones. We're not pretty happy. Both the brands could have done a better job here. Now, selfies are more detailed on Moto, but skin tones aren't ideal either. Vivo leans yellow, Moto leans red. Portrait selfies are definitely better on Vivo, again, not a surprise. But low light selfies are definitely better on Moto. For macro shots, Vivo offers telephoto macro, and therefore we feel like the telephoto macro with the 50MP camera, telephoto camera is actually better. And you can get telephoto macro shots at 3x, 6x and 10x. So of course, it beats Moto here. Now when it comes to video quality using the primary camera, Vivo has slightly better details and dynamic range with the primary sensor. Plus, it offers support for 4K 60fps video recording as well. However, Moto stabilization is superior and it supports HDR video recording, which Vivo kinda lacks. Ultrawide of course is better on Moto because you get 4K 30fps video recording quality, whereas Vivo is limited to 1080p. And on the other hand, telephoto video is better on Vivo because it has a high resolution camera, so you can do 4K 60fps videos with the Vivo and has better details compared to Moto. Low light videos using the primary camera better in Vivo, whether it's details or the exposure, it's definitely better. So after evaluating the cameras, you might have noticed that both of these are better in certain aspects. For example, if Vivo is better at zoom, Moto is better at ultrawide. If Vivo takes better portraits, Moto has better skin tones. It's just like a yin and yang thing, but overall, after looking at both these holistically, we feel like the higher resolution telephoto sensor in the Vivo sort of gives it an advantage, and it is slightly better than Moto overall. As for the software experience, you're aware FunTouch OS 15 based on Android 15, and Vivo's promising 3+4 years of software updates. Motorola offers Hello UI based on Android 15. You also get 3+4 years of software update promise from Motorola as well. There's also the lock screen poster for glance integration, which is there on Vivo. You also do get a lot of recommendations for app downloads, and of course hot apps and hot games are on by default, which of course can be switched off, but it's definitely not a clean install compared to the Edge60 Pro. Now while even that you can live with on FunTouch OS, what I prefer on Moto or Hello UI is the fact that it's definitely far more feature rich compared to FunTouch. Because you get your Moto standards like Ready For, Moto Secure, Family Spaces, and of course Moto Gestures. But more importantly, the AI features with Moto AI that Motorola has introduced is fantastic on the Edge60 Pro. Now basically with Moto AI, what you get is Update Me, which basically summarizes all of your notifications, which is nice. You also get AI Image Studio, which generates images, stickers, and even avatars. Then you also get Remember This, which creates a memory, which is damn useful. Then there's Playlist Studio, which works exclusively with Amazon Music for now. You can give it a prompt and it'll create a playlist for you automatically. But the interesting thing is all of this is tied together with something called Next Move. Essentially, you can just press on any screen that you're on and Next Move will predict what is required to do here. For example, if you're in a Book My Show page for an event, it will say, okay, fine, you want to add this to your calendar. Or maybe if it's a music artist, then do you want to create a playlist of that artist? All of that is damn cool, honestly, and it works really well. It's not like Vivo doesn't have AI features. It also gives you AI Erase, AI Photo Enhance, it's got Notes Assist, it's got Transcript Assist, and Call Assist as well. But overall, if you look at it, for software experience, I'd pick Edge60 Pro over the T4. See, there's no doubt that the T4 Ultra is definitely a good option because you do get a very premium glass body design, and you also do get a gorgeous display. The battery life is fine too, charging speeds are not a problem either. And of course, you do get more performance headroom with Vivo because it's got a better chipset. But most importantly, when you're looking at the camera performance, people might pick Vivo over Moto. Not that Moto is bad either. I really like Moto's performance too. However, Moto's biggest advantage is the fact that it offers better battery life. It offers more premium features like IP IP69 rating, wireless charging, all of which are not available. In fact, it also does have a better software experience with AI features that I found pretty useful too. But the most important factor to note out here is that if you look at the net effective price of both after discounts, Motorola is definitely much more affordable compared to Vivo. And therefore, it feels like a better value proposition compared to Vivo. Regardless, Vivo T4 Ultra is also a good phone. Edge60 Pro is also a good phone. Now, between these two, after I have given you my analysis, which one would you pick? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, keep tracking and stay safe.